Hi there, my name is Eberechi Igwe from Eric's Academy of Fashion. I'm the writer of the book Pattern Making for the Shapely African Woman. I'm also the writer of Advanced Pattern Mastery for the African Woman. So on today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a shoulder-darted peplum top. So the first thing you do is to establish your lines from the neckline to the shoulder line to the chest line, armhole line, bust line, under bust line, high waist line. Then after the high waist line, we're going to add 1 inch sewing allowance so that you'll be able to take care of the excesses you cut out and also the sewing the allowance itself. So when we are done establishing our lines, we connect them together with a metal rule. I have the link to the other video on how to make a shoulder-darted blouse just below this video, so just check out the link and watch the video. It's going to guide you a lot more because this video is not too clear on how to make a shoulder-darted blouse. That's not really the essence of the video. The essence is to help you link shoulder-darted blouse that stops at the high waist to a peplum. That's how to attach a flay to it. So in this video now, after you connected your lines, you're going to be working with your neckline, your neck width. We have our neck depth, so you connect your lines, mark your neck width, your neck depth, draw the kind of neckline you want, and then we'll draw the shoulder dart. So if you've not watched my video on how to make a shoulder-darted blouse, I'll advise you pause this particular video, go back to my YouTube channel and then watch it. You can watch the video on youtube.com/maisonderex. So the link to watch it is still in this video below. So you mark your main shoulder divided by 2. Then you add your extra allowance for the shoulder darts. So I'm actually making this for a plus size person, so I'm adding an extra allowance of about 16 centimeters. So after adding the extra allowance of about 16 centimeters, I'm going to distribute 14 centimeters, so that we'll have 2 centimeters left for the sewing allowance. So this is our dart position I'm marking so far. So about 1.5 inches above the nipple point, that's the intersection of the dart position and the bust line, I'm going to make a connection to the shoulder dart, which now appears as a triangle. So from my other video, you will understand why we are shading this part. We're shading it so that you will understand that it is a shoulder dart. It is not part of your original measurement any longer. So there's something very spectacular about working with a peplum top. You're going to make a blouse that does not flare at the edge. The measurement you use at the bust line is exactly the same measurement you drag down to your full length, to your high waists and allowance line. So you just drag the line down. You don't slant, you don't bend, you don't reduce, you don't add to it, just slant it down straight. So you're going to be having a straight line from there, and you're going to do the same thing for the front and for the back. So with this, I believe that you're already quite conversant with the pattern for peplum. So this is a major difference between a peplum pattern and a blouse peplum pattern and other blouses. Other blouses flay at the edge, but the one for a peplum does not flay at the high waist, which is kind of the edge on the main pattern. Then that of the flay is what makes it to actually flay out well. So now we're drawing the back piece pattern. We have to put our zip allowance of 1.5 inches first. When we put our zip allowance, we're going to do our zip shaping as usual. If you've been following my other videos on simple darted blouse making, shoulder darted blouse making, or armhole darted blouse making, you're going to be quite conversant with this zip shaping. So the zip shaping is no different for others, for the peplum blouse. So you can see how it stops at the high waist. So we actually went in at the high waist by about 1 inches, either 0.75 inches to 1 inch. So this is why we're doing our zip shaping. It's already obvious to you from other videos why we're doing this. So we're going to construct our back piece, our neck width, our neck depth, shoulder, but then there's not going to be any shoulder depth at the back. So we just have our normal shoulder divided by 2. We draw the neck line of our choice at the back, and then we do the shoulder divided by 2 at the chest line. Come to the round bust position. We're going to mark round bust divided by 4. Then we'll drag that line down to the high waist, and then that is it. Okay, so this is our front piece and our back piece for a shoulder darted half top. I mean, stopping at the high waist. So the next thing to do is to construct the peplum for it. But I'm going to be needing a peplum that is of a 70-degree flay, 720-degree flay. So first I'll take my measurements, which the round high waist measurements, which is about 40 inches. The round high waist measurement is actually about 37 inches. I'm going to add 3 inches to it for zip allowance since it's a blouse. Then I'll add an additional 1 inch for joining. That's for joining the peplum when I'm done. So when I add that up, I'm going to have 41 inches for the total circumference. So for me to cut a 720 degree flay, I ask myself how many circles are in a 720 degree flay. We actually have 2 circles, that's 360 degrees each. So I'm going to divide my circumference, which is 41 inches. I'll divide the total circumference by 2. But then I noticed we are adding about 5 inches for pleating, because we're going to have a pleat on this design. So that means when you add it up, we're going to have about 46 inches total circumference. So you divide 46 inches by 2 to give us 23 inches. So 23 inches becomes the new circumference for one circle. So since we're going to be having 2 circles now, I'll divide 23 inches by 6.28 using the 2 pi r formula, but just go ahead and divide by 6.28. Whatever our result is, that becomes the width of the circle, the width of one circle. So we already have our length, our chosen length for the circle. So we are going to work with it. So what we are going to do is the width of the circle. I think we have 3.66. Please try to calculate it on your own. 3.66 plus the full length of the circle, the full length of the peplum. So how do you get the length of the peplum? The full length of blouse minus half length, that's minus high waist measurement. That's going to give you the length of the peplum. Maybe you can decide to add 1 inch sewing allowance to the length of the peplum, because definitely it will get a little shorter. So when we've already added that, we'll multiply by 2. So length of peplum plus width of peplum multiplied by 2. So we are going to create a box. One side is going to be length plus width times 2, and the other side will also be length plus width times 2. That's how we're going to get the sides for our circle. I'm talking about one circle. So by the time we are done calculating and we create our square, we use that circle, we'll cut out our circle. I have the link to my video on how to make a flay, so you can also watch it if you're not so clear on how to make a flay. So by the time we're done cutting one circle, we use it to cut 2 pieces of fabric of the same shape. You don't need to cut out 2 circle patterns, so one pattern can actually do it all. So far that's what we're working on. So when you're done cutting it out, you can cut your hard gum stay, you can cut your lining, you can cut your hard gum stay, your lining. Then make sure you do not shorten your fabric. If you do not shorten your lining after cutting your fabric, reason being that if you shorten it, the edges of your flay would be very rough. So far, just observe to the rest of the video. Okay, so if your pattern is shorter, you just increase it a little bit to accommodate your measurements.